So I think Empire already showing that their knowledge and understanding of how to play the Enchantress is very much clear. Thoughts on that, BSJ?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree, mate. Yeah.
I was thinking where I wanted to go with that. Yeah, I do agree that like last game, since Ursa, yeah, he's the carry, but he's not like the be all end all, right? Like Terrorblade is a 1v5, right? He is a hero that's quite capable of, like, you'll see the net worth and it'll be Terrorblade at 25k, everyone else at 15k or lower, and he'll win you the game. Like on his team, I mean, he's the only one on his team with net worth, and I think Enchantress does work better with those types of carries, just because, like we said, it's all in on the lane. Terrorblade's real only weakness is his like super early laning, and I like the matchup against Veno. Yeah, you don't have a way to like remove Gale, but your reflection gets Poison Sting, so a lot of times Terrorblades will take 1 or 2 points in their first ability during the lane, and it just makes Veno basically kill himself. So I do like it, but Terrorblade being one of the scariest carries this patch, I wouldn't be surprised if they just go for like a Faceless Void, or maybe even a Spectre on the side of 5Comrades. It seems like the way to deal with Terrorblade is to kind of just cause a lot of havoc in the team fight and isolate him away from his teammates, because it is usually him high on the net worth and the rest of his team not so much. So you want to make it so they can't all ball around this Terrorblade, and I think these chaotic team fighting carries are the best way to deal with that. So didn't like the Ursa last game. Hope they change it up a little bit on the side of 5Comrades.
I think another nice thing as well with this is for Comrades, they have a Tiny and Veno dual offlane, which means if you are able to take this early tower with like the wards, because Terrorblade naturally goes to jungle earlier on, you're going to take his tower, and then Venomancer as a hero can easily set himself up in the enemy jungle. So there is this potential that with the Tiny roam potential and then this Veno controlling the jungle, the amount of farm Terrorblade can actually have on the map will be pretty low. So having a bigger kind of like win condition carry on the side of on Comrades is potentially enabled, because all this disruption from these two heroes will kind of punish the Terrorblade and enable your carry, because they'll have to react to this aggression, opening up the farm for your own carry.
What do you think is missing for him at this point?
In terms of Comrades, or again, just that win condition. Like, wow, they go for the Legion. They're pretty much going for we're going to win our lane with a natural off lane plus range combo, and then we're going to be able to kind of buff up our Terrorblade, right? So you have the hard purge on the Legion, the kind of save. You have the Enchantress heal for laning phase. Like, they're pretty much aligning themselves for the timing of when we group up as 5, we're going to just barrel through objectives.
There's 2 ways to play Legion. She's either more of like the initiator, I blink duel somebody, we win the fight that way, or I'm a sit behind somebody and I push W and save them. And since they drafted Legion into a Wyvern who has the Cold Embrace to save the target, the Winter's Curse to like stop the follow-up, I would assume this Legion is pretty much meant to be a buff for the Terrorblade. So like we talked about already, it is a hero that you can all in on, where you buy these pick these buffs and saves and stuff, meant for like the Gale, all that kind of mid-game control on the Terrorblade. But I'm never a fan of picking Legion into Wyvern. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just that I want some other way to start the fight than duel now. I hope their last pick gives them another option, because if you blink duel into a Wyvern, you usually just feed. And now that they have Arrow as well, with as I talked about, the Legion being more of a save, I would much prefer the Legion just buy like the Underlord type items, even though it's on the other team here. More of like the defensive pipes, auras, Solar Crest for the Terrorblade, and then if they do the Wyvern's Curse into Arrow combo, you're meant to keep your Terrorblade alive.
Pretty strong game. I think Comrades, they're really showing that they're going for more of a delicate, we're going to try and be a bit more like, have a bit more gusto after laning phase. Like, this Tiny's going to run at you. Marana, maxing Staff, or like Terrorblade, if he's ever out of position, gets caught by a Tiny, and there's that early kind of coupling between support and a core, this Terrorblade will die. It's still the big issue of how are Comrades actually taking towers. They got a lot of chip, where if they ever get to an area, Plague Lords will punch at it, Marana can like chip at it, but they have no one who decisively goes, we are moving to this tower and it is our area to control. They're very much a skirmish lineup, and they're going to try and like run in and out. But luckily this time, they're not really locked too much into items to make these plays. They can just go like 10 minutes plus just running at you. Do they have the kind of execution to uphold that aggression And are they going to fall flat? They're going to be under-leveled, potentially under-farmed if they are trying to have such a high tempo without the conditioning of like what these bigger teams have.
What would you pick if you're in their spot right now? What's the perfect choice in your eyes?
Really, I still want to see. I want this Mirana to be mid, for example, and I want to see them just pick up a very strong carry. Like, for example, BSJ touched on Spectre. I don't think that's actually banned out, but just a hero that can farm during the chaos of his team fighting and then go, don't worry, guys, I've got us after 30 minutes. Because right now they're pretty much locked into, if they don't win these early fights, then they're just going to be outplayed by a Terrorblade.
To me, it's a pretty nice troll game. I don't like the hero too much, but it's good against Legion Terrorblade as a carry, and it gives them like that natural objective taking threat that you were mentioning that they lack. So you're thinking it's not a mid-tiny? Oh, they banned it out.
They did ban it.
In the bans, so.
Don't worry, sir.
Was it in the last round of bans? Because then I can have an excuse.
It was. No, yeah, don't worry. Last round of bans, mate. They knew you were going to do it, so they covered you. They got you.
Yeah, they're stream sniping us already. But so you do think it's not a tiny mid? To me, when they pick Mirana, I'm under the impression it's a tiny mid. Maybe they're looking for like that mid game burst to bring down the TB. But
true, yeah.
I don't know if Mirana mid's like actually a thing in the EU region, because it's something that kind of fell off.
No, yeah, I don't know. I just realized.
Ago.
Yeah, you're so right. I was so horrendously wrong there. Of course, yeah. I was like, my idea was.
Don't worry, it's gonna be a Mirana mid, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I knew.
No, because I was thinking more like, if you have this tiny roaming, it's easier for the tiny to play in with the Venomancer, because like double range offlane is kind of weak. So having a melee tiny, so a melee 4 allows you to have a bit more punch in your offlane, and running around the map's easier, right? And then having the Mirana mid just gives them the early levels that connecting with Starfall can demolish. But again, we'll see. Okay, they picked the Void, so. Okay, yeah, that's another one.
This is the two bread and butter. It's the Void and the Spectre. You just want team fight chaos. I think Void is a bit better just because they're kind of banking on this Legion Commander press the attack to save the TB, and obviously Chrono is not dispellable. So that gives them like a nice, reliable way to all in the Terrorblade. And I think this last pick Kunkka is actually really good because the boat buff, the ROM that makes you take the about 50% damage reduction for the time being, really counters exactly what the Void represents. It's also very good against Void for catching him. The X marks the spot, really good against Void. I think the Kunkka is going to cause them to have some serious damage issues this time around on the side of 5Comrades. So I do like their draft a lot more this game. They have like all the tools I think are necessary to win a Dota game, but I do believe this Terrorblade's going to be an absolute monster, and the Kunkka is a nice pick to enable him. And the mid-game aggression from the Kunkka, kind of creating that space. You also naturally rotate to the Kunkka, which Terrorblade wants a type of hero like that. So I think it's an easy game for Terrorblade to play here.
I couldn't agree anymore. I think
he's flopped again.
This Empire lineup is too like decisive. You know, like their timing, their 15-20 minute timing is auras on Legion, just literally any tanky item on Kunkka, Terrorblade playing behind, and Comrades draft is nice, it's kind of cute, they have the ability to make these plays, but I just feel like they lack early damage, that when they come to the decisive fights, they're going to have troubles, and sure, maybe there might be a misplay or two in there, but even then they're still buying time for the Void. Just like in the first game, they're waiting for Ursa to come online, they're waiting for this to happen, and eventually it's like, oh, we're here, oh, but they've already out-timed us, so yeah, I think this will just be an Empire 2-0.
Empire 2-0, and they started off so strong last time around as well, right? It took ages for us to see Comrades get going, but you flopped on the first game.
Dude, I know, I realized, man. I'm like, I'm going to back the underdog, but then I'm like, nah, the underdog's they've thrown it away. But it is a tiny mid, though. That's why when I looked closely, because I had to read who it was, it is going to be the tiny mid, which potentially there could be a big pop-off of an early Blink Dagger killing Terrorblade. But those plays always kind of go, wow, you kill him 2 times, and then Terrorblade still leaves the jungle with his like man to BKB, and he's like laughing at you. So
what I seem to know already, T-Gov, is that you flop, and T-Gov is more correct. T-Gov is not as correct as BSJ at this point.
Man, stop trying to like create stats and stuff after 2 games, all right? You know, you're trying to put me under the bus.
You're the one wanting stats all the time.
That's true, but I want real stats that don't put me under the spotlight. I want to put the players under the spotlight, you know?
Well, let's put those players under the spotlight. Let's bring our commentators into it as well. I'll segue you out of here, mate, and I'll save you all day long. We've got Nomad and 1437 ready to bring us the action in game once again. Are you guys agreeing with Tiga and BSJ this time around? Do you think is this going to be an Empire 2-0, or are you just hoping for a third so we get some more action?
Yeah, I want to start with a 3-game series. My heart's saying that they can do it. Unfortunately, my head's saying Team Empire. Theban, do you agree, sir?
I'm gonna have to go with Team Empire, man. It seems like they got a really easy lineup to execute. I think Faceless Void is a very difficult hero to play. Also, in this current patch, I think there are very few players who play this hero very well. So let's see if Exotic Deer can do it.
Is he signed?
Let's see if we can pull out of the bag. By the way, guys, I just wanted to say it's a lovely studio. Could you do me a favor? Could you ask production if I can have that Zeus statue behind you, James? After you're done with it, because I feel like my place here could use a bit of sprucing up. Might have to. No, they've kicked them out already. It's just you and me, Theban. This is our show now. We do have a bit of a pause on the game, so we've got a bit of delay getting into this one. But yeah, I mean, I think this mid lane is going to be an interesting one to look at. Looking at this tiny mid playing up into the Kunkka. Is this like a Kunkka? I don't even know who wins this lane. Do you?
Yeah, it's going to be Kunkka favored. He's just going to buy like 2 bracers, and then this Tiny is going to be like, well, I guess I'll just roam somewhere else and kill somebody else. So you can't really do much against a Kunkka. You can toss him back into your tower, and maybe there's like some kind of a setup. One of your supports TPing in, maybe like a Winter Wyvern, and you can kill him. But I don't think this Kunkka is going to make any big errors like that where he puts himself out of position and gets tossed into the tower. So I do think this game is going to come down to the Tiny just moving around and trying to kill maybe the Enchantress like last game and feed off him.
Yeah, that was a little bit of feeding from the Enchantress going in. We can't lie. Alrighty, let's get into it. 5Comrades versus Team Empire. Game number 2 in this best of 3 series in the group stages of the Omega League. So yeah, I mean, I think the Venomancer last game had not as much impact as I was expecting, especially considering the fact that he had a very good laning phase. I think he was probably like, when you compare him to how much the Underlord was doing, I think it's a pretty big difference. Do you think this is a good game for Bloody Sky, since they seem to rely on him quite heavily last game on this Veno?
I think the Enchantress is going to have a really good time in this lane against the Ench against the Veno, because it's a Mirana and not a Tiny. Because the Tiny was super annoying, right? Just tossing the Ench tossing the Edge back to the Venomancer. She gets gilded up, then she gets Avalanche, and she's just going to die. But in this lane, it's going to be a TB that's going to be helping you out. You're going to get that Metamorph. You're going to be able to run the Veno down in the lane, especially when the lane meets in front of your tower on the first waves. So I think it's going to be much, much worse for the Veno in this game compared to last game.
Scary stuff. Doubling down on the Ench versus Veno matchup. It is an interesting one, and we'll see how much Flash is able to do on the course on this 4-position Mirana. How do you rate Mirana? I mean, we casted some NA. That hero is extremely popular over there, but it doesn't really mean that the hero is good. Do you rate the hero?
Oh, top though. There's gonna be a big engagement right away.
Dude, he's just straight up dead. Is the Venomancer just dead? I mean, I think they're gonna trade here, but yeah, I mean, Bloody Sky is gone, but Smiling Knight also gonna make the trade here and go down. Also, a huge commitment in the top lane by Team Empire just to bring down that Veno, but it works.
I think it's actually worth it for 5Comrades there, because they get the TB out of the meta, and he has a TB back top, and now he won't have meta for about 2 minutes. So there is an opportunity for them to maybe get level 2 on this Venomancer, engage on the TB, kill him off, and his TB might still be on cooldown.
Bottom lane, Deadeye Llama just about makes it under the tower as James attempts to chase him down on this Lina. But yeah, this bottom lane also going to be a bit of a spicy one, as we've got the Legion Commander and the Lina against the Faceless Void and the Wyvern. So who do you think we're going to see struggling here?
This lane looks quite good for Legion Commander. I'm not so sure the Faceless Void can apply any pressure. Later on, the Legion's just going to skill up, press the attack, remove the Arctic Burn or the slow from the Splinter Blast. So there's not going to be a whole lot of pressure that Radiant will be able to apply in this lane. They did get level 2 first though, so they got a little bit of momentum in this lane at the moment. But once things start to stabilize for Empire, I think they're going to be fine.
Jeez,
oh, they actually going to take this engagement.
Yeah, Wyvern needs to get herself away as the Legion chases, and everyone just kind of, disengages from each other eventually.
You're talking a little about Mirana. I think this game, her only setup is like the Chrono and maybe the Tiny Toss. The Gale is not that bad. I feel like in NA when they were playing this Mirana, they had a lot of like setups available though. In their lineup, like some Kunkka, Ember Spirit, these kind of here, Axe even, some really solid disables that you can just follow up arrow with, which really helps.
I mean they've got a couple, but everything's really high committal, you know, like the Winter's Curse, the Chrono, as you mentioned. These things are going to make landing these arrows, you know, easy, but also pretty expensive. You can only do it every now and again, and those spells are often needed for some other things. So, arrow just being used to farm the hard camp as well by Flash here, but Ekanat just constantly laying in the harass onto this poor little Mirana. But let's have a look over towards our mid lane right now. So we do have Lightless on the Kunkka versus Nataki on the Tiny. Tiny, to nobody's surprise, he's off to, not a bad start, but not the dream start he's looking for here. However, that is a nice miss on the torrent. He could have been in some trouble if that torrent had connected. But yeah, Nataki's still not having a greatest of times in that lane.
Yeah, he tried to disrupt the combo with the Avalanche. It worked out, you know? He didn't get hit by the torrent. That's all he was really trying to get out of that. And look at this bottom lane right now. Oh, never mind.
No, top lane is where the action's happening. It's Bloody Sky's going to get dropped here and dies for the Enchantress kill. Not quite sure what that one's worth it, I'm afraid. And Flash can do very little other than just watch Smiling Knight farm this lane now.
Yeah, the second meta, here it is. They instantly commit onto the Venomancer. So easy for them to get these kills. I mean, this Venom has 280 movement speed. The Terrorblade with his new buff to Metamorph, he doesn't lose any movement speed when he transforms. 315. It's as if he has boots. And now he actually does have boots. So he's got 360 MS versus the Venom's 280. Every time he pops meta, this Venom's going to get run down.
Yep.
Oh, again, they're going to commit
as well. Venom coming in close here. They've still got a couple more seconds. Venom will run out, but unfortunately, Venom is dead. Smiling Knight going to take some damage from Flash here, but yeah, I mean, it's too late. Bloody Sky with the huge mistakes, TPing into that top lane and losing his life for it. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, we do lose the Devi Llama. Looks like James will be trading his life for this one, though, as he gets beaten in by the Faceless Voids. A nice couple of bashes, helping out as well. I think Exotic Deer will get that kill at bottom. And mid as well. Toss comes down to Lightless here. Nataki, ooh, close one. Almost brings him down. You know, Lightless, he's just going to take a quick trip back to base. Casual Kunkka things, running back to base, healing himself up, getting the full bottle, and getting straight back into lane.
Yeah, Bloody Sky now is making that walk of shame from base to top. This is what I meant. You have to be so careful. And Venomancer, every time that meta is up, you got to just respect it. You got to get out of there. I think he had like, what, 3 seconds left? If he entered the lane 3 seconds later, that would not have happened. That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
He just entered the lane 3 seconds later. Meta would have been out. He would have been fine. He would have been back to his free farming self in this lane. And the TV might have even had to leave this lane and go jungle or something.
And it's not exactly like there weren't any... It's not even like there weren't any indicators that this Terrorblade was going to be somewhat aggressive, considering he literally, the first thing he did in the lane was pop Metamorphosis and run at the Venomancer until he died. So you got a pretty good idea of how this Terrorblade wants to play, you know? the hints have been there. Now he's just kind of farming up the hard camps, you know, trying to get as much money as possible. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Exotic Deer still struggling. 19-2 on this Faceless Void right now. This is pretty bad. Ooh, top Enchantress. People down here. Beautiful.
Oh, it's like that. I mean, when the meta's on cooldown, this is like their time to shine, right? On the side of 5Comrades mid, I see a boat.
You do indeed see a boat. You see a Tiny heading up into the air. Lightless, he's got the Tidebringer in 2 seconds. Will he even need it? Or can he just run him down the old-fashioned way? Well, it's actually not enough damage. Tiny's still on the run here. Lightless, unfortunately, does seem to be a little bit faster. Nataki, though, he's running out of time. Lightless closing the gap, turns around with the toss. And Torrent, going to be off the mark here. Nataki doesn't want to deny himself to the camp here, but unfortunately, I think he's going to drop. He's just running this Kunkka around in circles. The Tidebringer, once again, not enough as Nataki continues running away. Pops the Illusion Rune, pot him some bottle charges. I think he's going to be okay. As the next marks out from Lightless, and he's looking for the creep to try and get off the Tidebringer. Meanwhile, Devi Llama comes in through on this one as well. Nataki is still chasing for this, but I don't think there's any kill to be had here. They will back themselves up. A bit of a humorous situation in the middle lane as they leave on a bit of a Benny Hill chase.
Yeah, and meanwhile, top lane, they try to dive on the Terrorblade, Enchantress TP'd in, and they just turn around, pop meta.
Bloody
boom,
Sky, when will you learn? When will you learn that your actions
no.
have consequences, Venomancer?
Yeah. 0-5, 7 minutes in. Oh my goodness. If this was a pop, he would have already been flamed out of this game. Yikes.
He peaked in game 1, the bloody sky. From the bloody sky to the bloody ground. Divine Armor and
really
James
bad.
playing
And
some
I
Dota.
just want to mention, in this bottom lane, James has been doing such a good job like making sure these pulls are not happening, and the Legion Commander, he even gets a solo kill here. Absolutely amazing by James. Are they gonna go on exotic tier 2? He's only level 5. Nah, they're gonna back
James
off.
not exactly healthy, so struggling to do this.
Yeah. So look at Legion Commander right here. She has like double waves or 5 or 6 creeps right in front of her all the time, and there's nothing this Spaces Boy can do. He cannot contest his Legion in front of her tower where she's getting 3 armor and 1 extra HP regen all the time. And they also cannot pull because Alina is constantly stopping them from being able to do so. So she's got insane amount of farm. 50 last hits and 22 denies in the offlane. You don't see that often at all.
You do not. You do not. Yeah, these lanes going very, very Empire favored. I mean, this is pretty brutal right now. We saw the same thing last game. Comrades were able to come back with some good fighting. So let's see if they've got their boxing gloves ready for this game number 2, because they do need to make themselves a bit of a comeback, as they're already 3k gold down at this 8-minute 40 mark. Let's see. Movement in the bottom lane. There's a lot of heroes seeping in. They drop the Chrono onto the Legion Commander. Arrow's going to follow through as well onto that Legion. Keeping the lockdown. Avatos comes out and they will be able to drop Mastery. A nice kill from the 5Comrades. They need a lot more than that to bring them back, but definitely a step in the right direction.
They had to commit a lot of heroes to this kill, but it just had to happen, right? The Tiny can't sit mid. He can't kill this Kunkka, so might as well try to pair up with the Void. Whoever you can in the bottom, try to get some pickoffs here.
Poor little Mirana tries to time the leap, but unfortunately Lightless, he's on it. He's ready with the torrents to catch that leaping Mirana mid pounce. 69 last hits on the coast.
It's also a level 5 run. Gives away a lot of experience to the side of Empire. This Kunkka is so big. He's like level 9.5 already.
They're putting some pressure on the Void now as well. They don't want Exotic Deer getting anything. They remember what he did to them on that Ursa. Made the game take way longer than he should have. So they're just looking to make sure that that doesn't happen again and put some pressure and really take over this lane at bottom. There's even Smiling Knights coming down here as well. Do you like this rotation by the carry?
I do. I really like it. Now they're going to get 2 free runes bottom. Oh, actually, Lightless. He's going to take a lot of damage. They're going to try to go onto the Tiny, but he's going to dodge the bolt. That was a pretty nice move. Gonna get himself a haste rune at least. But yeah, good rotation for the TB though to go bottom, because as soon as the catapult comes out, I think the Venomancer was just gonna abuse the TB in the top lane, and he doesn't want a Tiny rotating there and killing the TB. So Smiling Knight TPing bottom first, getting this tower killed off first is gonna put them a little bit quicker than 5Comrades, because 5Comrades just got their Void in the Venom top. So it's gonna be a while before they can take this tower. Maybe they can even rotate mid with Team Empire and apply some pressure there too right now.
Yeah, and I love the way I've seen Ataki, the hasted Tiny, turning up to the bottom lane, and they just don't care. It's a really bad sign if at 10 minutes in, the carry rotates in with a haste rune, and they just ignore you. They don't back out. In fact, they go deeper into your jungle. It's worrying. It's worrying. Now pressure coming through onto the middle tier 1. This is looking very clinical from Empire right now, as they're really just going from objective to objective. They might have even found the Wyvern. No, Arrow comes through, catching out the Legion. Well, she might still go for this duel here, but with Flash coming in, I don't think so. Optimistic TP away, but might just work. Yep, she's gone. Ataki tries to cancel with the Avalanche, but it doesn't quite connect somehow. Wow, what an escape from the Legion. Not even that is enough to bring down the Legion Commander. Deary me. And now, well, Boat coming away with the Venomancer. Veno plus Vote equals a little bit of trouble right now. They've got so much long-range poke from both the Lina and the Kunkka. Not quite enough to finish off the Venomancer, but definitely enough to put him in a dangerous situation. He just about keeps out of the Tidebringer range.
Yeah, and now Legion's gonna go top and scoop up all these creeps that's free for her in this lane, while Terrorblade is farming around bottom and the Ancients area. I mean, Empire are just taking over this game so heavily at the moment. Like, Tiny has to do something. He's the only real playmaker that's capable of doing something.
Yeah,
and he's just sitting around mid right now, trying to defend.
Somewhat difficult. I cannot. Well, maybe they can grab themselves an Enchantress, but even this has taken a hell of a long time, and the Kunkka's waiting in from behind, just seeing if there's an opportunity. Come on, guys. You can do it. You can do it. They don't.
It ain't happening.
Can they do it?
I mean,
They can't do it. They're just gonna walk. Oh no.
No, indeed.
Oh god.
I mean, meanwhile, all the
Enchantress.
cores of Empire are actually farming during all of that. Legion is top. Kunkka was around mid. Terribly farming Ancients. He's gonna go back bottom, get that lane out once again, and he's getting so fast. He's got 7,000 net worth 12 minutes in, dude. This is insane how much farm he has. Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's
He's,
crazy.
he's gonna
And we
take
always
off.
say-
Are we gonna get some new GPM records this game?
Maybe. I mean, we always say how like Faces Void needs to use Chronosphere and then he should go back to farming. But in this kind of game, where does he use Chrono? How can he use Chrono? This mid tower is full health, and the Lina's constantly spamming it out with Dragon Slave.
Kill the Lina.
I mean, it's so difficult, right, to try and make any plays happen on the side of 5Comrades. This is the power of Lina, right? When as a support, especially, you don't really want to chrono her, you don't want to commit big spells to her, but at the same time, she's constantly pushing your lane out in the mid lane, where you need that tower to break into the jungle and stop this TB from farming.
Yeah, and it's not even like they don't have anything to save heroes in Chrono either. You know, they've got the boat for the run buff. They've got Sunder even if they want to commit that hard to it. They've got even a press the attack, which can help out a bit. It's not ideal.
They've changed their plans. Instead of going mid, they're trying to chase this Legion. But look at Legion, she's so fast. Phase boots. She gets movement speed. Oh, what is an arrow? It's like an arrow magnet. Wow.
Yeah, I mean that was an impressive arrow. Is it going to result in anything though? Maybe. The jumping into try and finish the job hit. Maybe the Starstorm. Nope, lands on a creep. Exotic there, trying to help him, and Mastery ain't going down anytime soon. Running the other direction. They have got an arrow to throw in here. Oh, a Chrono arrow will connect as well. The arrow magnet will go down. Costs them rather a lot, but still a worthy kill. Meanwhile, the Venomancer goes down in the middle lane, and now Smiling Light, he wants to take himself a tier 1 tower, and there is nothing that's going to stop him. Winter's Curse comes out onto the Lina for what cause. I'm not really too sure, and Davai Lama will end up giving his life.
Yeah, I mean, this tower mid is so big. Empire, they really know their objectives, where they need to play, how they can get their towers killed. The moment they saw all the heroes going after this Legion, they just ran this Terrorblade middle and took the most important tower. So now, although Empire were the ones who have, I would say, like, you know, a stronger late game, and they have this TB who's like a ticking time bomb, they're playing aggressively with that ticking time bomb. So this is very bad news for 5Comrades right now.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you kind of know how far behind you are. You know, you've got to try and make some kind of play to come back into this game, but you don't exactly know what that could possibly be as Terrorblade picks up his first ultimate orb, going for the Scaddy, which is not even going to take him that long to get to at this rate. They need to do something. Okay, what do you do if you're the 5Comrades, right? Let's say you can pause the game, you can come in, drop into their voice chat, you know, Discord or TeamSpeak, wherever it's going, you go, hey boys, what's going on? Here's what you need to do. Go.
I mean, they need to first get this top lane out, and they gotta prepare some smokes so they can smoke and try to kill the hero who's constantly trying to push out mid on the side of Empire. And then after that, they need to connect and take this tier 1. The thing is a very difficult task to do because there's a Lina on the side of Empire. So even if you do manage to kill off the Kunkka, the Lina might be spamming out the wave, and you know they might even buy back to actually defend this tier 1 middle. So at the end of the day, you still gotta be able to accomplish that in order to play an equal game to Empire right here. The longer this mid tower is alive for Empire, the more and more difficult it's gonna become for you to actually kill off this Terrorblade. Or catch him. Or stop him from farming. Anything. Any of that. Dude, he's almost like 10k net worth.
Terrorblade.
Look at his net worth. This is insane.
Well, if the smoke doesn't go well, it might slow him down a bit, but with Metamorphosis and cooldown for 8 seconds, they definitely want to play around this right now. They know how strong this Terrorblade is, along with pretty much everyone. They've got this blink picked up on the Legion Commander. Like, Nataki is the dream target right here, and I don't think he's surviving this one. The Cold Embrace might make things take a little bit longer. There is a Winter's Curse available. Is it going to do anything onto the creep? Yeah, okay. All right. I mean, he thought it was it was a Terrorblade illusion. Fair enough, I guess, but yeah, not the real McCoy this time around, boys. You'll have to go searching again. And that's a Winter's Curse and Moonlight Shadow used to try and save that Tiny, and it did not work. And they even managed to save the meta as well. He didn't even pop it.
And now the Terrorblade is farming aggressively and trying to take away farm from the Faceless Void instead. I mean, the Faceless Void is actually not that under-farmed in terms of his net worth, but he does have a Midas, right? So
yeah,
I mean, it's not terrible. 40 attack speed for Void. That's quite good damage output. And then he's almost got that Maelstrom, but he's going to need way more items than this, that's for sure. They don't have enough burst damage inside the Chrono for him to be like super valuable at this stage in the game.
Duel
Again,
comes out onto the Tiny, but actually Mastery's getting pretty low here. Won't lose the duel, but the Chronosphere comes down, landing onto both the Legion and the Conquer, but they don't seem to have the damage to get through this Conquer right now. It's going to take a bit of time, and now the Smiling Knight comes in, and the Exotic Deer has to back himself away, but they're going for this one. They want to commit to the Conquer. Not sure that's the greatest idea, but they're going for everybody except the TB. They will be able to take down James as well, and now the pings are coming out into the Smiling Knight. Not quite sure that one's going to happen, though, guys, as they pops the Sunder onto the Venom just to bring himself back up to full, drop a little Conjure Image here, and the Venomancer should be toast. Yeah, see you later, buddy. He's going to get a salami sliced as Exotic Deer just tries to slip away the backlines. I mean, all things considered, I would say that's like the dream fight. They're going back in for this one. They're trying to look for the Smiling Knight right now. Exotic Deer, really, buddy? He's trying to go for this. If he gets the bashes, he might be able to bring him down, but the bashes shall not be forthcoming. They will finally get him, though. The poison ticks him away. The bloody Sky finally gets himself something in this game. Now look towards Ekanard as well, but unfortunately, the Enchantress is somehow harder to kill than the Terrorblade. I don't know. Jules does manage to connect onto the Mirana. She is very much in the bin. Nataki will probably just TP himself away.
Wow, how did he not get a single bash there? It would have been great if he actually got a bash. I think that would have been able to bring down this humongous Terrorblade and lots of gold into the Void's pocket, but nope. It's not even over yet.
Yeah, they've caught the bug, haven't they? Yeah, exactly. They remembered how last game went, and they're just like, oh yeah, let's do that again. And that was fun. Ram each other's faces. This Enchantress is doing hella work though. Devi Lama, oh god, that was bad timing with the Yules, but doesn't matter. They'll still peace out. Moonlight Shadows dropped, and finally this should be the end of things. So Exotic Deer is pinging out the Conquer, saying, let's grab this boy. He's a meaty dude. Yeah,
not too sure. On the Legion Commander, they might want to try to use that one more time. I'm kind of surprised that Terrorblade didn't end up dying in the fight though, like considering how strong he is. But now he's got that Scotty, right? Like he wasn't really having it in the last engagement, but now he does, and they really want to utilize this huge advantage they have.
Run, little deer. Oh, what an arrow! Oh my god, mastery! Jesus Christ, those arrows, not tennis balls. You don't want to be trying to catch those things. Oh, down goes the Legion.
How many arrows did he get this game?
Yeah, if we could get a stat for that, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh my god. Or 8. He's 7 arrows already, at least. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure. That is a guaranteed stat right there. Meanwhile, they make a half-hearted jump onto the Conqueror at mid. It's pretty casual. They're just kind of ruffling his truffles a bit, giving his pickle a bit of a tickle.
Kuka's got a halberd too. That's going to be a bit annoying for the Faceless Void later, and it's going to make him much tankier. That status is just so good. I mean, this item has been good for such a long time. Oh, Mash James, so close.
Yeah, the arrow grazes his skirts there on Melina, but doesn't go down. And now the good blade comes out onto Nataki, and Nataki shall be no more. But the toss gets the kill onto James. Not bad. Meanwhile, when his curse comes out from the Devi Lama, just try and keep himself alive from the Legion. The Legion will be left wanting. Meanwhile, Lightless goes to the Torrent, and it's close, but no cigar.
I'm so surprised with the Terrorblade not going for a Yasha, actually, in his build. Like, that's literally every Terrorblade player's favorite item. Yasha. And it's so surprising to see that opt for that. Yeah, man, you get that nice movement speed bonus. It's so good. Yeah, they got the Winter Wyvern's curse off, so it's on cooldown. They can just
flash. He's going for it. He's going for it, but unfortunately, I don't know what he's going for. He leaps up to the high ground rather than into the pit. And now Bloody Sky's throwing his life into Exotic Deer's coming in. He's got the Chronosphere. He's trying to take down the Roshan all by himself, but unfortunately, he's being done. Oh no, that's so unfair. Oh, I almost feel like they should have given the Aegis for that attempt, but nevertheless, the Heaven's Halberd on the Conquer does absolute buckets of work. The Void, unfortunately, he gets sliced in two. His steak is boiling truly tenderized, and now Empire. I mean, this is the point where I think many teams would call the game, unfortunately. I don't like to be defeatist, you know, I'm an optimistic dude, both in life and in Dota, but there are some games where this steep hill is a little bit too steep.
Dude, they thought they had it with the Chronosphere, but like you said, the Halberd was just way too clutch there.
Stun from Alina, the Halberd from the Conquer, yeah, great positioning from Empire though. I mean, knowing not to all be in the pit, knowing not to overcommit to that one, respect the Void.
Well, they're thinking, right? Like, what is the one possible way they can actually get this Aegis, so they just stopped that from happening, which is perfect. And they also baited out the chrono. So because they baited out the chrono, they can just go mid, take that tier 2 tower for free. Outposts are open now. They're going to start controlling up the map once again. I mean, this Terrorblade was playing super aggressively even before he got a Scotty. Now, just imagine what he's going to do with the tier 2 down, outposts all taken, and he has an Aegis. Things are looking real for 5Comrades.
All right, so, so let's say you can magically drop into the Discord call for the 5Comrades now. Is there anything you say to them? Or they're like, hey, you know what, boys?
I'm like, all right, boys, listen up, okay? You got this nice juicy word on your triangle area. Let's just hope Empire come in here and start throwing their bodies one by one. Yeah, and just be ready for that, okay? Just be ready for that. Actually, that's like one of the ways I've seen people throw away big leads like this with better heroes as well, is running up into this triangle area where the wards are, and the opponent is already sitting there with like 4 heroes. Like, that's what needs to happen. And they're kind of doing that with 2 right now, but you know, this Tiny and the Mirana also need to be there and ready for it. But look at Empire. They don't even care about that triangle anymore. They know where 5Comrades are. They're just going to go bottom, push this out. They have meta. They're just going to go to the high ground and force them out of that little area where they have all this vision set up and make them defend bottom. It's so good by
Empire.
Like,
they're running a pretty tight ship. Yeah. They know what's up. Arrow does connect onto the Terrorblade, but I mean, what are you going to do to him? Oh, now they're going to Winter's Curse him just for funsies. There you go, buddy. I feel like that could be better utilized rather than just kind of delaying the inevitable destruction of their tower, but there you go. Fortification now being used as well. All good in the hood. Oh, toss back onto the Terrorblade here. Unfortunately, Davai Lava is just like, what have you done? I don't want this. There is a Sunder available on the TB as well as an Aegis, so this is kind of just a free Blink Dagger for the TB. Thank you very much, he says. Stone comes down onto the Venomancer here, and now Lightless just runs up that high ground. The Davai Lama is most certainly dead. Another toss back onto Lightless. Maybe they can bring this guy down, but unfortunately the Disarm comes down into the Void again. This time maybe he can go for the Chronosphere, but no, he catches the stun just on the side. They're looking towards Lightless, but his BKB is still bloody going. They'll try and back themselves away, but the Comrades being beaten back into their fountain. Venomancer left on the backlines here. That on Cold Embrace ain't going to do much as the duel comes in. The kill comes through. 60 duel damage on the Legion Commander right now. So the barracks are falling, and the Comrades, well, let's hope they're comrades in arms right now as their base is falling apart, and all they've got left is that camaraderie between each other to keep their spirits alive, but still not calling it. Credit where credit's due, you know. They're a resilient lot, these Comrades.
Okay, I mean, it's just so difficult to try and utilize this chrono in this game. It's one of the reasons why I was thinking like Void Pick is kind of sketch. They don't have a whole lot of damage that they can have out of them.
Yeah, as long as he's going for this one, you know he wants it. He worked hard for this kill, and he's going to find it for himself. Unfortunately, in they goes with the boat. He does manage to get a time walk. Nice dodge, dude. I didn't even know you could do that.
Doing the vulnerability of the time walk, he managed to get out. Nice. Not bad, not bad. He's showing his talents. He knows, like, hey guys, I can do this. We just
nice with his curse as well. There we go. James might go down here. Yep, nice little playboard from the bloody sky. There's only 3 players left. Nataki, though, getting maybe a little bit overzealous here. Let's see if they can punish. The Yules comes out. Nice blink away as well from the Nataki. Meanwhile, the BKB's popped from Lightless here. Nataki trying to run himself away. Unfortunately, there is an X-Marks available in just 2 seconds, but doesn't quite get it. Does use the Torrent for the vision, and then is able to get the X-Marks out. Arrow connects onto that illusion, and Nataki will slowly walk himself away. Took some time, but he does get himself out. And they're going to try and toss up the Terrorblade a little bit. I mean, they've got a decent amount of magic damage. Meanwhile, yours comes out. Flash says, here you go, have some health. Use your Sunder, buddy. Arrow does not connect, unfortunately.
Smiling Knight is like, what are you ants trying to do to me? He's like tickling him, all the damage they're doing. Look at his items, dude. What is this?
Yeah, dude, he is strong.
This is insane.
He is a strong core. I think Smiling Knight's been doing a lot of Pilates. You know, he's a very strong core. Been working on those muscles for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we did see though, like how 5Comrades, like, they can do something if Empire run into that triangle area, right? Where the Legion died and the Lina died was there. They had like 3 words in this area earlier, or when they did die, so they have plenty of vision. They know who to jump. who to cast spells on. As long as Empire stay away from that, I think they will have a clean game here. But if they keep on running into there, thinking like, oh, we're so strong and it doesn't really matter, maybe we can fight them even if they have vision of us, I think they're going to be in for a rude awakening.
Indeed, indeed. Ekanat just going to calmly skip up here. And they are trying to play around this area, and as you say, getting punished, Alina. She's getting beaten on down here, gonna lose her life. Ekanat and Lightless coming on over here. They feel strong enough that they don't care about this area right now, but Void gonna come in from the side. Beautiful Chronosphere onto 3. The boat's gonna come on over, though, and that's gonna give them the help they need to survive it. There's just not enough damage being pumped into this Chrono, and now the Winter's Curse comes out. Exotic Deer jumps himself away, and Atake is sitting and waiting on the high ground to try and find a target, but unfortunately, I think the fight's over for Comrades. They've thrown everything they've got into this one, and it got them precisely nothing. Now they'll have to give up this high ground along with their Venomancer. Yeah, unfortunately.
The story of the game, man. In the Chrono.
Yeah.
No damage inside the Chrono.
It was
pretty nice.
Exotic
though,
Deer,
right?
you know,
Like, got, like,
very fitting. Yeah, it was a beautiful Chrono, but unfortunately they don't have anything to follow it up with. No one's got any damage, so they just turned out crumbling.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I feel it's a saying which would be very fit for this game is it was a bit of a Sisyphean effort from the Faceless Void, as he tried his best, but like Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the hill in Greek mythology, he was unable to do so, as it just rolls back to the bottom every single time.
So Smiling Knight. It's just so hilarious when he's trying to run away and they're trying to slow him down. Like, we can try to kill him! It's just impossible.
The Comrades are never done. I'll give them that much. They're never done. They're always trying. They're always trying to push for every little bit it's worth. You know, squeeze that sponge out, get every drop out of it. But unfortunately, with the duel in the backline, that's a dead Davai Lama, and down goes the Tiny as well. Void trying his best. Sisyphus trying to fight into the boulder of Empire, but unfortunately, it's just not going to do anything. They're just going to come rolling in for the tier 4s now.
Yeah.
They've got.
I don't know whose base is this. Empire's base, or is this 5Comrades base? Because it looks like they're just chilling out here. They don't mind anything.
Yeah, there's definitely more dire heroes in their Radiant base than there are Radiant heroes right now. Take gonna buy back, but 1 tier 4 has fallen. Exotic Deer taken to the front lines. He's got that BKB, and by gun he wants to use it, but is it gonna do anything? The answer, probably not. As the Venom drops once more. James on the run. Exotic Deer trying to jump for him here. Meanwhile, beautiful Winter Skirt's gonna come down again here, and that is gonna be a dead Enchantress. Nicely done. Now, well, in comes the X-Marks onto Flash. Flash, though, once again, with the Yules just to keep himself alive, but Winter's Curse, Cold Embrace going to be used once more. And they're looking for the backlines here. They're looking for James, but James won't actually be caught right now as Tiny goes in with the toss. Light Strike Array comes out onto him, though. Saki on the run. The duel comes down onto the Void. Actually, this is a hero they can't let this happen to, but they've got no saves for him. The Void's just going to straight up drop. He does have himself that buyback, should he want to use it, and he does. They keep it going, but unfortunately, Empire, I mean, they're just playing with their food right now. They are just taking down every single hero which comes their way. Another buyback from the Comrades right now, refusing to let go. Exotic Deer does have that Chronosphere, so I mean, Empire like, all right, you know, fair enough. We'll chill. We'll come next time. We'll wait for boat. Whatever. Roshan's up as well if we want it.
The one who's like, hey guys, I got no mana. Can we just go back a bit? Meanwhile, Smiling Knight's like, yo, I got mana, boys. Let's go in there right now. I don't care. He wants to fight. You can tell this man is bloodthirsty, even if he has 400 gold away from his Reaper, or sorry, Satanic. Jeez,
easy duel.
So much damage.
Yeah, Mastery's just farming duels at this point. He is just looking for these heroes, bringing them down. Hello, Mr. Tiny. Yeah, that Ghost Scepter not going to help him out too much here. Even on the sidelines, Devil Lama's getting beat now. Where's he avoiding all of this? My Chronos boy. Oh, he's chilling.
Alright, he's got Satanic now, by the way, on the TV. If you thought he was unkillable already, well...
Oh god, BKB and Time Walk popped because they have vision on the high ground, which somehow Exodia did not expect. Still waiting with the Chrono. Oh, he's buying himself the smoke. Here we go. Game-changing Chrono, 1 versus 5. Let's see it. Woo! 4-man Chrono! And, well, not exactly how we thought. The GG's are cool. Chrono into GG. Feels bad, man. But there we go. Game number 2. It goes away with Team Empire eventually. You know, they hold on. They dig their claws in.